All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 133. Kind of starting off on some issues, but hopefully everything is coming through to you. I was wondering why everything was light. That's why. Hold on. I forgot that I always have. I was working in my dark, but I usually have my screen up and everything else. So, all right, that looks hopefully a little bit better. I was wondering, I was like, why is everything so bright? But yeah, I forgot. I kind of changed up my studio, so therefore everything is set for lights beyond. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another live stream. I think this is week number 133. My name is Mr. McLogan, and yeah, coming to you a little bit late, but that is sometimes what happens on the Sunday night. So I wasn't planning on doing. I've actually been in my seat since like mid like 8 o'clock, but I had to try to get some things. I probably have like probably 12 videos that I made from last week. And so I was like working on them and getting them downloaded and uploaded. And then I was trying to, I wanted to clean all that for my computer, reset it for the live stream. And then of course it just took forever to get my computer, restarted. And then I had some apps that were not working correctly. So I was trying to close them and then they weren't quitting. And I was just like, all right, well, here I am, just like a sitting duck waiting for everything to go. So thank you guys for being patient and holding on. And I apologize. I just do not have everything set up. I literally was trying to get to this stream as like quickly as I could. So I want to get my questions on here. All right. Well, hey, Justin and Abdushin and Jesus, nice to have you on. Colin, Tanaka, well, good. Thank you so much. Happy to have you guys all on. I thought there was more come through. Or is that just how that? Okay. All right. I was just making sure that is slide in. Sweet. All right. So I do have some exciting news that I did want to share with you guys. I'm actually not even sure if I probably should share this, but I guess maybe it's always good to, put it out what you're planning on doing and then go through and then we'll follow through. We'll see what the details are. But anyways, I want to let you guys know of something exciting. I did this last year and I don't see some of the people on that have taken advantage of it. But yeah, one thing that I did last year and it didn't really work out the way I was expecting or kind of wanted to. And rather than just kind of adjusting, I really had a really tough year last year trying to like adjust to not being inside the classroom, trying to learn how to create content kind of on my own, without having a classroom in front of me, having to kind of like prepare and plan on my content. It was actually really difficult. I don't think it was kind of hard to explain. Like everyone's like, oh, you have so much more time on your hands. And I literally felt like I was like drowning every single day with all the stuff that I wanted to do and tried to do. And so then taking on like extra tutoring sessions or anything like that, like it was too difficult. It was just not enough time for me to do that. So, anyways, I ended up just like kind of cancel. I was like, rather than trying to adjust and like make it the way that I like kind of keep on trying to see what worked out, I was like, you know what? I think it's just better to kind of focus on what I need to do as far as getting, my channel and myself like ready and prepared. And then we'll maybe kind of revisit that. So I put all of my tutoring kind of on hold. But now I was just kind of thinking about things as we're coming up to another school year. And I was like, you know what? I think that is something that I really want to kind of bring back. So guess what? I think that's what I'm planning on doing. So what I am going to do, I'll probably have a lot more information coming up for you guys. Oh yeah. And by the way, I'm still going to be doing some math questions. So I don't know why am I moving that? If you guys do have some math questions that you want to submit, let me actually go ahead and pull that up. You guys can still make questions. Where is that? Wrong thing. You guys can still go ahead and, okay. If you guys have math questions, feel free to go ahead and go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A. Or you can also go ahead and check out my Discord server, which I think might be your best friend as you're coming into the school year, stuff like that. So anyways, let me go and get onto this, and then I'll get into any of your guys' questions or what you guys have coming up from there. So anyways, the tutoring. So if you guys remember, some of you guys maybe have been on some of my live streams from last year. What I did was I kind of did I kind of did like a giveaway. And I'm thinking, maybe tonight, let's just do a giveaway. So rather than kind of giving like a hashtag math help or whatever else, I am just going to take any comment, and it's not going to be on a live stream though. It's actually going to be on my most recent video. And so for those of you that were patient with me and are still on my stream, what I'd like to do is actually give you guys an opportunity, not that video, to go ahead and join in. So if you would be interested in getting a free tutoring appointment with myself, then what you can do is go to my last upload and just make any comment. It doesn't really, I mean, obviously I want you to make it like a nice, good comment, but I'm not going to give it any kind of hashtag or anything like that. But yeah, really, really any kind of, comment, obviously it would be beneficial as far as anything else. Like, if obviously any other videos have been helpful for you or anything else, but that's where I'm going to be taking those. And we will do a giveaway tonight for you guys on the stream. So I'm actually going to link to it because I know, even though most of you should be able to go to that last upstream, I know to kind of make things a little bit simple, I feel like I should probably just go and do it because I'm just throwing it out to you guys. I'm just throwing it out there right now. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is, in addition to that, I also wanted to do my group tutoring. So that was something I did. It was actually pretty fun. The problem with the group tutoring was I don't think everybody was prepared for it. So it like kind of took longer than I wanted to. But the group tutoring, what I did was I only did it for Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. But what I'd like to do is kind of do it every single month. For this week, I'm probably not going to get into, I'm probably just going to do it for algebra. I'll probably go through from like algebra 1 and geometry. But the main thing is like really kind of getting the questions like pre-submitted. So, students just kind of like show up. Like I really want to be able to answering questions and like help students. And the reason why I'm doing a lot of this is because I really like that back and forth. And that's also kind of things like I kind of miss about the teaching is kind of getting that back and forth. Like even when you guys post questions, to brianmclogan.com/Q&A, like what am I doing? I'm just answering the questions. I mean, sometimes I get a little back and forth from you guys like in the chat. But a lot of times, like people are, don't have any follow-up questions, or they're just kind of, or going to be watching like the replay. So that was kind of the nice thing about doing that was kind of the nice thing about having some of those group tutoring sessions. So I will have more information for you guys coming up on that. And, but yeah, it will basically be a way for you guys to, you basically kind of sign up. It is going to be limited. I think I had like 30 people, that I did limited, kind of like a classroom. And yeah, it's kind of like a boom, submit your questions. And I want to kind of go through as many questions as I possibly can, in the time that is going to be allotted. So, that is what I have for that. So, but if you guys would comment on that video, and again, this is, the tutoring with me. This is all free with myself. So the reason why that is, I do offer online courses, that is not free. Those courses, obviously I have more information on the pre-calculus in my description, and then I will be coming out with more information on my other courses. So, if you're interested in the courses, like that's kind of like a different level. The free tutoring, I've offered paid tutoring before, but I don't have the time allotted to do any more like individualized tutoring. So this is my ability to, kind of selfishly be able to interact with more students. But yeah. And the other thing I am looking to do though, FYI, is also kind of make some of my content coming on. So we'll kind of see how that spin wheels, like that was my original intent when I kind of did this. But it just never really panned out, and I didn't really have the time to kind of adjust for on there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I kind of want to give you guys a little bit in the world. Like I think it's beneficial for you guys to sometimes see, I think I was looking at some of my older videos, and, you guys can let me know in the comments if you agree with this or not. But, like some of my newer videos where I'm just talking with you, I think you kind of lose that communication or like that, intimacy. Whereas sometimes when you watch my classroom videos, you see me interacting with my students, like answering questions and like going back and forth with them. So it kind of gives you more of like that feeling of like really like that in-depth learning, like you're there. right? So I think that's something, I think it's kind of helpful in the learning journey that I want to kind of try to include on some more of my videos. So I'm still gonna be making the videos I'm making. I have a ton of content I'm still gonna be doing, but I thought that might be something interesting that that you guys might find beneficial. So maybe not. We'll go ahead and see. But yeah, I wanted to kind of offer that to you guys, and yeah, so I'll let you guys know. But we will do our initial another giveaway here on that stream. So I haven't actually even tested it out. So hopefully the website and everything else that I was using last time works. Otherwise, I might just have to bite my tongue on that one. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and thank you for your comment. Good. Hey Alejandro and hey King. But it is very challenging for me. I have a ton of videos on domain and range. So yeah, if you just kind of, I even have some more recent videos that I made on that. So if you want to go and take a look at that, feel free for that. That'd be help. Yeah. So I will be, so, I mean, you got to think like my goal is to, so obviously one thing I will be doing with pre-calculus, I think I am going to have a, in my pre-calculus course, I will have a kind of private tutoring kind of session, which is kind of like a group tutoring again, but that's like that's additional. That's like part of my course. But as far as like the free open tutoring, that will be like once a month. So hopefully that will still be something that will be beneficial for you and to be able to help out. Can you post any questions in the Q&A? Like, yes, post those questions, please. Jazzy Cars, that is way too much. I have no way to be able to read all that on that. And Rob, I wish I could get to abstract algebra by that time, but unfortunately, probably not. I'm trying to work my way back through a lot of the older math that I have gone through in years and years and years ago. So, but it's going to take a little time for that. Anybody starting to grow on YouTube? Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to make content, but you got to, I mean, YouTube's already kind of, built out, right? I mean, there's a lot of already existing content. So rather than trying to focus on like replicating what, is already out there, like try to see what you can carve out that's your own path. Obviously you want to still like, mimic off success that you see from other videos and titles and how they, do things. But, I think you got to also kind of make your own spin on things to really kind of get shown now, right? It's not just like, it's not like in the old days of YouTube where you can just like make some crazy content and get known and get shown. Like you gotta, there's a lot of noise going on. So you got to be able to find that kind of wedge where, the wedge inside the ecosphere that you can kind of survive and keep on making content for. Avery says, would you ever go back inside of the classroom? Thank you once for your math videos. You're very welcome. You helped me survive 10th grade. Awesome. Yeah. So one thing I am looking into doing is actually going back to the classroom, at least kind of doing like some substitute teaching this year. So I'll see how that goes. And yeah, but that was kind of one of my main goals is like to kind of at least do some substitute teaching just to kind of get back in the classroom, just to kind of get that feel. I don't know if I could go back to teaching in like a structured format. Just for the fact of like my kids, just like the time and stuff, like how much they demand of that, I think it'd just be it'd be a very like kind of difficult change. Like it's been really nice stepping away from the classroom, having that flexibility with like my children, like being able to pick them up from school and like, take them to appointments and all that kind of stuff. Where when I'm a teacher, it was just like, oh, it was overwhelming. Having three young children, there was always something going on. It almost felt like every week. And, then you're trying to deal with all your demands of inside the classroom and everything else. So, I mean, I never say never. Like, obviously I think there's always there's always an opportunity where, going back to the classroom might make sense. But I could say probably in the immediate future, I just don't see myself really having that desire at the moment. I really, really cherish the 14 years I was inside the classroom and the time I spent inside the classroom. But, and yeah, I at that point, I just kind of like feel like that is his own life. That is his own chapter. Right. And, just kind of moving on from there, and we'll see where the future kind of takes me from there. But I miss the classroom. I really do. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't miss, right? But yeah, there's a lot that I do miss. And And I think there's still a lot that I want to do, like with education and with videos, right? I mean, you guys can see, it's a year ago from today that I stepped away from the classroom. Like I haven't stopped making videos. I mean, I make a lot of videos, right? And that's what I still want to do, right? So I don't see what I'm doing changing. It's just I think the little bit of the format and my availability to be able to do that is going from there. Well, thank you, Better Boy. Happy to be able to help. What curriculum do you follow in America? Well, I mean, we have a lot of different like state standards, and like I'm not sure. I mean, we like, at least I'm in Florida, so we had to follow like the Sunshine State standards, which basically was very similar to a lot of other state standards, in the kind of curriculum from there. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the textbooks are all going to be same, and even if you updated them or an older textbook, they're all very much very similar to each other. But we did kind of do I would say a traditional kind of approach from on there. All right, I'm going to try to join the Marines, but I suck at arithmetic reasoning. That's okay. Keep on working at it. I kind of chuckled and laughed just because I think it was like a natural thing of like, I think you typed that out, or at least my thinking is like, you're putting that as like as a big deal. And I don't think it's as much of a big deal. Like, I think being bad at arithmetic reasoning or thing is something you can definitely overcome, something you can work at, something you can improve upon. So, I know in the moment, and, I know in the moment and on yourself, you're probably going to be harder on yourself than you probably would be for someone else. So, which is good, but I would just say like, don't, don't, don't think of that as something that's holding you back. Like, you can improve upon that. You can do better. And go for the Marines and, excel, do the absolute best you can. Right. And, and just keep on working at it. I don't think that's going to be something that's going to hold you back. I don't think it's something you were born with. Like, oh no, you're not going to be good at arithmetic reason. Like, no, like you can improve on that. Keep on working on that. Try to see what you can do. See what you can do and do your best at it. I'm advanced and I'm going into high school learning geometry instead of algebra 1. Okay. Is geometry more challenging than normal because of my siblings? Sorry. Excuse me. Because my siblings say they struggled at it. Yeah. I mean, that kind of debate of like algebra versus geometry, it really, really is very personal as far as where students, what they struggle with, what they don't struggle with. So I wouldn't hold too much weight on somebody saying like, this is a hard class or this is not a hard class. Like, a lot of your experience and your ability at the current moment is going to kind of dictate that. So, obviously if you're going into geometry, as a freshman, that's awesome. You obviously have been able to display that you have some, some strong foundation and some math skills. So, I mean, that should serve you right, but it might be something that, you might have, maybe you didn't get as well a foundation as you needed. And so maybe if it does struggle, or you need to like take a step back and slow down, like that's fine. That's okay too. Right. So don't be so hard on yourself if it does begin to struggle, or if it doesn't, just, do the best you can do and kind of see where it goes from there. I do not. You have 1 through 13, and year 13 is last year of school for years, yes, it'd be like elementary, high school, elementary, middle school, and a high school. It's kind of usually where how most, I would say most schools are kind of formatted. I taught in Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where I still reside. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get to some of the math questions. So I'm actually going to take this down. You guys can still post questions up there, but I will go ahead and take the look at the math questions because I did want to see what we have going on. I did see some questions, and unfortunately with my issue that I had, I was not able to get into any of the questions. So this is why I always like things to be pre-submitted, so I actually have time to like review them and like look at them. So I do apologize. I'm going to have to kind of look at these, go from there. But I mean, as you guys can see, like even when I'm getting ready, for these streams, like I don't have a lot of time to be reading like a lot of stuff. So when you send over like word problems and stuff like this, I'm just, sometimes I just have to breeze over it and say next, because we just don't have the time. All right, and this one, I think I did this one last week. Let me double check. I'm looking back at my last week's. Did I not write that down? Huh. What was that question? I thought I did this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I remember that one. I do not have time to look at that. Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess technically I could teach elementary. Technically, as I say, but I think I would struggle immensely with trying to teach the foundational or teach a lot of those concepts to students that don't have some of the like previous knowledge that I'm kind of used to. So I think in general, like, yes, like obviously there's certain math, like if I have a degree in mathematics, like going backwards should make sense. Like I could do it. But I think there's a lot of skills and a lot of like kind of formatting in the instruction that that makes kind of the elementary instruction way different and way different and more specialized than like secondary education. So while I say yes, I could, I think there's a reason why my certification is 6 to 12 rather than K through 5. So we do have our certification split that way, and I think there's I think there's reasons for that. Even though I've never taught elementary or looked at the curriculum or anything like that, but I just knowing from what other teachers have done, like or and seen some of it, I think it'd be a stretch for me to like kind of get prepared for like a class. All right. It's a number of times. What was that student? Brian, can you help me with the Pythagorean theorem question? Yeah, the link is up there on the top. Feel free just to go ahead and submit it from there. Did I simplify that one? I thought I did that one. Oh, that was that one question. Oh, I wrote it down, but oh no, okay, that was different. Okay. Cool. All right. All right, guys, we got one question. And why did you stick to Algebra 2 pre-calculus if you had the opportunity to teach higher level math? Would you? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I taught 2 years of calculus at my school, and then our enrollment kind of went down for calculus, so we only needed like one class, and even I wasn't the senior teacher in the calculus, so yeah, just kind of lost my class on that, and yeah, that was actually kind of a bummer. I'm not sure if I would have stayed teaching longer, but I will say like the one course that I really enjoyed that I don't feel like I got enough time and experience teaching was calculus, right? I mean, because teaching calculus is, I mean, teaching any math is really an art, but I think calculus is, um, it's a really, really, kind of beautiful class to kind of teach. And it really, you just can't like take anybody and just be, oh, now you're going to be taking this, calculus class. Like, I mean, it takes a lot of prep. I remember first 2 years I had it, I actually had a kid, and it was two of my kids were born as I was teaching, and I was just like absolutely overwhelmed with how much work I was doing on for each of like in preparation for every single night for those two classes. But anyways, like I loved it, and it was really exciting. And it was kind of a bummer like that that I didn't have the opportunity to kind of teach it again. To be honest with you, but again, that like even if even if I like made demands of like, I'm only going to stay if I like teach to calculus, which I never would anyways, which is kind of weird. But like, again, I would get like one or two classes. I would still have to be teaching something else. And that was really what I was kind of bored with, like teaching pre-calculus. I've been teaching it for, I don't know, like 10 years. And I just roughly around 10 years. I was just kind of over it. Yeah, I really enjoy pre-calculus, and I still make videos on it, but I think just like that day to day, just kind of dragged me down. Um, okay. Um, All right. I'm not really sure what else I'm supposed to do for that student's question. And Space Cowboy, you are very welcome. If you can post it into the Discord, that'd be greatly appreciated. Because that's where I'm taking these questions from. Don't understand this question at all. Well, that's good. Would you say that not many people, I guess I can still move it over here. Not many people take calculus for that reason, that they feel like they wouldn't use that math. I mean, maybe not. I mean, to be honest with you, I think like calculus was like that first time I was like, wow, calculus is like embedded in everything in the world, in the life, right? So like, I thought that was pretty cool in that regard. But yeah, I mean, calculus is a lot of work, and if you're not going into something that is going to be calculus based, right, which I think a lot of classes are not, then yeah, like why do you need to take all that calculus? And I think there's a good debate of a lot of the stuff that we still require students to teach, or to like, we could definitely teach students the fundamentals of calculus and understanding calculus without going into so much of the details, into the weeds of a calculus course. And students could still get immense value from that without being bogged down by so much that we kind of require for like a math major, right? So yeah, I think there's definitely some merit to, we're losing a lot of students that are kind of feel like calculus is not designed for them, and so therefore they don't take it, and I think we lose out on a lot of opportunity there. So I think you definitely hit on some very important parts for that. Sure. That's a nice isosceles triangle. Sorry. PQ. I'm just trying to look. S is a point. I would have to look through that problem. I'm going to save it. I'll maybe see if I have time for next week. I just don't have time right now to kind of look over that. I do not know anything about quantitative reasoning. Oh yeah, Jazzy, I'm sorry. I saw your. Okay, what is the maximum height you have thrown in the book? What is the result of the toss? You decide to try again and increase the velocity of your toss to 34 feet per second. You need to reach a ledge that is 22 feet above you. You toss a grappling with a velocity of 32 feet per second. I would have to go back through. What is the result? What is the maximum? You'd increase your velocity. Well, that is going to be the height with respect to time. So that's going to be position. So what you're going to want to do is, if you're going to be increasing it, you're going to want to write the velocity equation. And so velocity is going to be the derivative of that. So that'd be a negative 32 t squared, plus 32. So you're going to want to use the, so Jazzy, that's to your question, is you're going to want to use the velocity equation for that. So you're going to take the derivative of that equation. But I do not have time to handle, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you're going to have to find the velocity question for that. No, I would not consider myself smart. I just do a lot of math problems. That's what I would consider myself from there. All right, Hammer and Cowboy graph this question. Well, maybe. We'll see. Ooh, looks like a fun one. Oh, this one was on last week, and I didn't get to it. Apologize for that. Okay. All right, I will leave it up if you guys have some more questions. Jazzy, if you do have a question on like yours or what you're having on, then please let me know. Like, obviously yours has a lot of parts, so I'm not going to handle it from there. But if you have a question or you have follow up on that, just let me know in the chat. I do have it pulled up. Why is so weird? My thing will work for a long time and then it like stops. Okay, so here's k of x is equal to, so here's a question somebody wanted me to graph. Ugh. Okay, so we have an x squared minus a 5x plus 4. Okay. Yeah, you got to go for it. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and graph. All right, guys, how about we do a giveaway? That sounds like a fun thing. I think we should break it up because before I go to that, I want to kind of get the giveaway out. So again, the giveaway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not, if you're just joining in, this is for a free tutoring assignment or just tutoring assignment with myself. Again, it's free. So all you simply need to do is just go ahead and have a comment on the books of, did I write the chat? What is it? Oh, I don't have my video anymore. What the heck is it? There it goes. Okay. So just make sure you guys comment on this video. And let's go and do a chat. All right. So let me go and see if I still have. See if I still have. Okay. Only 10 comments, guys. That's awesome. So sweet. All right. Not that one. All right, let me actually get this. There we go. Let's move this around because I was not prepared for this, but now I am. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get in. Oh, I guess I could probably, yeah, it's all right. Whatever. Okay. So let's actually go back. That's not where I wanted to go. Okay. All right, here we go. You guys ready? You guys ready? Here we go. And again, if you don't want the tutoring assignment, you can always gift it to somebody else. Again, it's free, guys. Pick a winner. Let's go and do it. 10 comments. I love it. Lilir, nice, great help. Well, awesome. Hopefully you are able to on the live stream, or otherwise I will respond back to your comment on the video. And congratulations, you just earned a little tutoring session with myself. So hopefully that is something that you will be interested in or know somebody that will be interested in. And you can go ahead and please reach out to me. I will reach out to you on YouTube, or at least in your comment. But you can reach out to me on Discord, which again, the description or Discord is in. Where is Discord? Where is my? Oh man, there you go. You can reach out to me in Discord, which is right there, or on Instagram at Brian McLogan. So either one of those is going to work. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into. I'm just going to work on these 2 math questions, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, because I'm already late and lots to do. All right. All right. Peace out, Justin. So in this first one, we're just going to simplify. So I think it's kind of important to a couple things, like kind of remember like how we can rewrite a square root of 7, right? So remember, square root of 7 we can rewrite as 7 raised to a 1/2. So we can say that's the index is 2, and 7 can be raised to the first power, right? So what we can do is we can rewrite this as a 7 to the 1/2 power, and that's raised to the 5th power. So again, now remember the rules of exponents state whenever a power raised to another power, then you're going to multiply them. So 5 times 1/2 is going to be a 5/2. So we can simplify this as a 7 raised to the 5/2. And voila. You are very welcome, Ava. Happy to be able to help you out. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's do the graph. So in this one, we have 3x squared plus 13x minus 10, all divided by x squared minus a 5x plus 4. So we need to graph. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some things. I'm going to first do the x-intercepts. We're going to do the y-intercepts. We're going to do the vertical asymptotes. And we're going to do the horizontal asymptotes. I don't know why I did VA asymptotes. All right, so x-intercept. So x-intercept is when y is equal to 0. So basically, when y is equal to 0, that means so if you put like k of x, which is the y, equal to 0, well, the first thing you do is you multiply the denominator on both sides. That'd make everything 0. So technically, for the x-intercept, I don't know why I have so much room here. So therefore, you're basically going to have the numerator equal to 0. So that's going to be a 3x squared plus a 13x minus a 10. Okay, so now we just need to go ahead and solve this. So we can go and see if this is factorable. Hopefully it is. If not, that sucks, and we'll have to use quadratic formula. But that's okay. We can still do that. So what two numbers multiply to give you 10? And again, our middle terms we're going to want to add to give us a 13. So we could do a 10 and 1, and that looks like that would, no. If we did 10 and 1, yeah, okay. So we need to get to negative. No, we need a difference. Did I type that in right? Dang it. Right? I did that right? I think so. Hopefully I didn't delete that because I wasn't able to get to the student's question. Okay, no. 13x minus 10. Okay, cool. So here it is. Because 13 and 10, those would add, but those aren't going to multiply to give us that. And then we could do 5 and 2. So that 15 and 2, that's going to work. Okay. So if I did a plus 5 and a minus 2. Now, usually, a lot of times when you have a problem, like a graphing problem like this, you're going to have like maybe some holes or stuff like that. So a lot of times things are going to divide out, or they could have an option. So, you know, the fact that it's being factorable is pretty common, but not always necessarily going to happen. All right. So therefore, I can set both these equal to 0. So I can say x is going to equal a 2/3 and x is going to equal a negative 5. All right, so for the y-intercept, that is going to be x equals 0. So what happens if you plug 0 in for x for all of these? You get a negative 10 over 4. So we can say that y is equal to a negative 10 over 4, which we can reduce by dividing a 2 on top and the bottom. So therefore, that's going to be a negative 5 halves. All right. The vertical asymptote is when the denominator is equal to 0. So that's going to be the discontinuities that make your denominator equal to 0. However, it would probably be important to make sure that we factor this to make sure that anything that makes our denominator equal to 0 is not a whole in addition to an asymptote. So let's go and rewrite this actually in factored form before I start doing that. So it'd be 3x minus 2 times an x plus 5. All right, and then over here, I can factor this to a x minus 1 times an x minus 4. Okay, so nothing is divided out, so therefore these are going to be my two. Those are going to be asymptotes, so vertical asymptotes. All right, and so I already kind of did the factored form, but we'll just rewrite it. So therefore x equals 1 and x equals 4. Okay, perfect. So those are going to be values that's going to make your those are going to be your values that are undefined. So therefore, they're going to be vertical asymptotes. And then we have a horizontal asymptote. And the horizontal asymptote test, you're going to compare your degrees whenever your numerator is equal to your denominator. Sorry, whenever the power in the polynomial in the numerator is equal to the power equal to the degree of the polynomial in the denominator, then you're going to take leading coefficient over leading coefficient. So the horizontal asymptote is y equals a 3 over 1, which is just equal to 3. Okay. All right. So now let's go and take this information and let's plot it. Go. So let's see. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have a 2/3 roughly right there and a negative 5. Okay, so that's where the graph crosses. We have a y-intercept at negative 5 halves. So 1. So that's what, like 2.5, right? So 3. Okay. And then we have a vertical asymptote at 1. And we have another vertical asymptote at 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow, that's interesting. All right. So usually what I like to do is just kind of pick some other points that That's really weird. I just got to see what this graph looks like because I don't think there's anything wrong that I did, but now I got to type this in the Desmos. And if you're not already used to Desmos, Desmos is going to be your absolute best friend that you did. So I'm going to go ahead and plot this into Desmos because something I'm doing, typically it's kind of weird to have vertical asymptotes that don't usually have those points on from there. So I want to kind of see, is there something mathematically I did? Because usually most equations don't look like something like this. And it doesn't look like it's a pretty crazy equation. I've done a lot of rational functions. So something seems off, but I'm not sure if there actually is something off. Because I'm not sharing at least any of my work. +4. Okay, yeah, that's how that graph looks. Cool. Interesting. Oh, I wouldn't zoom out. There we go. Yeah, okay. That's really interesting. All right. So anyways, I just had to confirm things because I guess I never seen a function like this, or at least the graph, at least I don't remember. So now what we technically want to do is, oh, we have y equals 3. Sorry about that. Oops. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I forgot we had a horizontal asymptote. Okay, so just remember your graph is going to be approaching the horizontal asymptotes from the left and from the right, as well as your vertical asymptotes from the left and from the right. All right, so there's something wrong here. Oh, no, okay. All right, it goes like that. That's so weird. Okay, so if you don't know what the graph looks like, then just pick some other numbers, right? Maybe pick like -2 and like you can plug in a -2 and from there. I'm not really going to do that just because it's going to take way too much time and I'm already kind of tired from starting this live stream late, but you're going to have a graph that's going to look something like this. And then I think the other one kind of goes like that. Like obviously we know it has to approach these two vertical asymptotes from left and right. So it's either going to cross like an S curve, right? Or it's going to do kind of like this little parabola thing. And then the other shape of the graph is going to look something like that. Right. And again, like how would you know that? Well, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you're probably in like 5 and then plug in 6 and you'll see like you're probably going to get like points that look like that. Right. So therefore, they're going to be above. Obviously, if they're below, they have to approach. And the main thing about the asymptotes is that the graph is going to be approaching these asymptotes from the left as well as from the right. So, obviously, just to save some time, you could definitely either use graphing technology, which I would recommend, or at least kind of plug in your points. But like the main thing that I want my students to know is like how to find this information, right? And then, the other thing you could also do is like check to symmetry, which obviously this does not have any symmetry. But I think it's kind of important. Like, but otherwise that you're just now plugging in points and then just like plotting them to see if you can kind of guess, which I think, Desmos took me 2 seconds to kind of verify things. So I think that's going to be a little bit more useful for majority of students, but otherwise, guys, hopefully this live stream was helpful for you. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week on the next stream. And hopefully I will not be as late. All right, guys. Cheers.